All right, today we're talking about something so simple it almost feels like a joke. But don't laugh too fast because the habit itself is literally laughing. Yeah, laughing. Not the fake polite haha you do when someone's uncle tells a boring story at family gathering. I mean real laughter, the kind that makes your stomach hurt, your face twist, and you forget your problems for like 10 seconds. And suddenly life feels lighter again. And before you think this is some random motivational talk, Jung actually pointed towards something very deep here without even calling it laughing habit. He talked about the human psyche needing release, shadow energy, emotional pressure, inattention, all that serious stuff. But today we're making it simple. We're not going deep into textbooks, we're going into real life. Because if you can laugh every day, I mean truly laugh every day, something strange starts happening to you. You look younger, you feel lighter, people even treat you differently. And I don't know who needs to hear this, but stress ages people faster than time ever will. Let me say it again, stress doesn't just hurt your mind, it literally changes your face. But laughter does the opposite. It's like pressing a reset button on your whole system. Now let's talk real life for a second. Have you ever seen someone who is like 50, but they behave like they're 25 inside? They laugh too loud. They joke too much. They don't take everything seriously. And somehow they look younger than people who are 30, but always serious like they're carrying the world on their shoulders. Yeah, that's not coincidence. That's energy. That's psychology. That's life refusing to crush them. Now let me tell you something funny that happened to me once. I was in a place, very serious environment. People acting like they're in a business war room or something. Everybody's quiet, nobody smiles. Even the air felt like it had debt. And then one small thing happened. Someone's phone rang. And it was the most ridiculous clears throat ringtone you can imagine. Like a chicken sound mixed with a trumpet. And bro, one person tried to hold laughter. You know that face? Lips shaking, eyes watering, trying to be professional. Then boom, one laugh escaped. Then another. Then suddenly the whole serious room turned into a comedy show. Even the serious guy in the corner was laughing like he lost his job. And after that moment, everything changed. The energy softened. People started talking more freely. Even the meeting went better. And that's when I realized something. We are not machines. We are not meant to be serious all the time. We are literally designed to reset through joy. Now let's bring Jung into this in a simple way. Jung believed something very powerful, that humans carry tension inside them. Not just stress from work, but hidden emotional pressure. Things you didn't say, things you swallowed, things you pretend didn't hurt you. And where does all that go? It stays in the body, in the face, in the energy. That's why some people look heavy, even when they are young. But here's the funny part. Laughter is like a small escape door for all that pressure. It doesn't solve your problems, but it loosens your mind's grip on them. And sometimes that's all you need. Now let me ask you something. Be honest. When was the last time you laughed so hard you had to pause what you were doing? Not a smile, not a polite laugh. I mean, real uncontrollable laughter. If you can't remember, we need to fix that because life without laughter is like food without salt. You can survive it. But why suffer like that? Let's talk about something very real. People think youth is about skincare, expensive creams, or looking perfect on camera. But have you noticed something? Some of the most attractive people are not the ones trying hard. They're the ones who laugh easily, they joke. They don't carry tension in their face. Their energy is open. That openness, that softness, that lightness, that's what people call beauty. Now I want you to imagine two people. Person A wakes up already stressed, checks phone, angry messages, frowns all day, thinking about problems. Person B wakes up, still has problems but laughs at small things, jokes with life, doesn't carry everything like a backpack full of bricks. Now tell me, who do you think looks younger after 1 year? Exactly. Now let's make this practical. This laughing habit I'm talking about is not about waiting for something funny to happen. No, it's about creating space for laughter. Let me show you how simple it is. First thing, stop taking every little thing personally. Someone cuts you off in traffic. Instead of turning it into a full emotional movie in your head, just laugh small and say, "This city is wild." Done. Second thing, find humour in your own mistakes. Yes, your own mistakes. Because if you can laugh at yourself, life loses power over you. You drop a plate, laugh. You say something embarrassing, laugh. Snorts. You send a wrong text, laugh. Not everything is a tragedy. Some things are just funny moments in disguise. Now let me tell you something very important. People who laugh more don't necessarily have easier lives. They just process life differently. That's the secret. Same problems, different interpretation. Now let's go deeper but still simple. You know that feeling when you're stressed and your face becomes tight, like your jaw is holding grudges. Yeah, that tension builds over time. But when you laugh, your whole body resets, your breathing changes, your face relaxes, even your thoughts slow down. It's like your nervous system goes, finally, we're not dying today. And that matters more than people think. Because when your body feels safe, your mind looks younger. Now let's talk about something funny again. Have you ever laughed with someone and suddenly they look more attractive to you? Be honest, it happens all the time. Someone tells a joke and suddenly you're like, wait, they always looked like that. No, they didn't. Their energy changed. Laughter creates connection, and connection is attractive. That's Psychology 101 without calling it Psychology 101. Now let's do something interesting. I want you to picture the most serious person you know. The one who never laughs easily, the one who always looks like they're thinking about taxes, even on weekends. Now imagine that same person laughing hard. Feels strange, right? Almost like their face doesn't know how to do it. That's what happens when people lose touch with laughter. They don't just lose joy, they lose flexibility in their energy. Now here's the funny truth. Life will never stop being serious. Bills will still come. Problems will still show up. People will still act weird. But your reaction, that's where your power is. And laughter is a reaction that keeps you human. Let me share something personal style again. There was a time I took everything seriously. Even small problems felt like big drama. If something went wrong, my whole day was ruined. And you know what happened? I didn't look more responsible. I just looked tired. Mentally tired, emotionally heavy. Then one day, I was forced into a situation where everything went wrong at once. And instead of reacting the usual way, I just laughed like full surrender laugh. Not because it was funny, but because it was too much to hold. And something strange happened after that. The problem didn't disappear, but I didn't feel crushed anymore. That's when I understood something simple. Laughter is not denial, it's release. Now let's bring it back to you. If you want to stay young, not just in appearance, but in energy, you need moments of lightness every single day, even small ones. Watch something funny. Talk to someone who makes you laugh, or just learn to laugh at life's randomness, because life is already weird enough. You might as well enjoy it. Now let's talk about attraction for a second. People think attraction is looks, but really it's energy. And laughter is one of the fastest ways to make your energy open. Have you noticed people who laugh easily are easier to talk to? They feel safe. They feel warm. They feel alive. That's why people gravitate toward them. Now let me tell you something simple but powerful. If you can learn to laugh daily, even when life is not perfect, you are basically training your mind to stay young, because old energy is rigid. Young energy is flexible, and laughter keeps you flexible. Now, before we end this section, let's make it fun again. Imagine your brain is like a phone. Stress is apps running in the background, draining battery. Laughter is like closing all apps and rebooting the system. Simple, no drama, just reset. And if your life feels heavy right now, I'm not telling you to ignore it. I'm telling you to interrupt it, even for a moment, with something light, a joke, a funny memory, a silly moment. Even laughing at yourself, like, Wow, I really did that. Because that interruption, that small break, is what keeps you from burning out emotionally. And here's the final thing I'll leave you with for now. People don't stay young because they avoid aging. They stay young because they don't let life harden them. And laughter, real laughter, is one of the fastest ways to soften life again. So tomorrow, or even today, don't wait for the perfect moment. Find one reason to laugh. Even if it's small, even if it's silly, even if it makes no sense, just laugh. Because something interesting happens when you do it daily. Life doesn't get easier, but you get lighter. And when you are lighter, everything feels more possible again. And now I want to hear from you. When was the last time you laughed so hard you forgot your problems for a moment? Be honest. And here's something I really want you to remember before you leave today. The habit we talked about is probably the easiest habit on earth. You don't need money for it. You don't need special equipment. You don't need a perfect schedule. You don't even need a perfect life. You just need to give yourself permission to laugh. And that sounds simple, because it is simple. The problem is that many people grow up believing that being serious means being mature. So they stop laughing as much. They stop being playful. They stop being curious. They stop enjoying little moments. And before they know it, life starts feeling heavier than it needs to be. But look around. Think about the happiest people you've ever met. Most of them have one thing in common. They laugh a lot. Not because their lives are perfect. Not because they never struggle, but because they refuse to let every problem steal their joy. That is a superpower. And honestly, the older I get, the more I realize something funny. The things that stressed me 5 years ago, most of them don't even matter anymore. The things I thought were disasters, I can laugh about them now. And maybe that's one of the biggest lessons life teaches us. Sometimes we're carrying things that future us is going to laugh about anyway. So why not start a little earlier? Why not give yourself that freedom today? Think about it. How many beautiful moments have people missed because they were too busy worrying? How many funny memories almost never happened because someone was trying too hard to be serious? Life is already giving us enough challenges. We don't have to add extra weight by carrying every little thing like it's the end of the world. Sometimes the healthiest thing you can do is smile and say, you know what, this is ridiculous. And then laugh. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and join us for more insights inspired by the timeless ideas of Carl Jung and the fascinating mysteries of human psychology. Until next time, remember this. You don't always see yourself the way the world sees you, and sometimes the qualities you overlook are the exact qualities that make you unforgettable.